Sorry, I'm doing that thing again where I patiently wait for someone to tell us how we sound instead of actually saying something so they know how I sound.
That's true. Hey, Brian and Dork, say so. Brian and Dork. Brian and
Right.
my God, the words Dirk and Dork are like
It's too
right,
close
One
together.
letter away.
like
Dark,
right. No,
you
I
are
meant on the
now-
screen. They're like right above each other. So
Dark, you are now Sean.
yeah. Hey, Brian and Sean. How do y'all? Why don't y'all say something?
This is me talking. Hey, Sean, how are you today?
Well, they call me Tim.
There are some who call him that.
I'm here.
Yeah.
That's all. There's a lot more that I'll talk about once we kind of get actually started, but that's about all I got right now.
Stark's in here busting out the tater salad. God, I love that bit.
That's a pretty good bit.
I wonder if maybe one day we can mess with everybody by referring to each other by middle names for the entire show.
I don't even know anybody's middle name except for Dirk because Brian keeps saying it.
I say Yancey all the time.
Yeah, you call him
Yeah.
Dirk Yancey Trimble. Like you said it once an episode for like 2 episodes now. It's very strange.
Huh.
I don't remember that.
I guess I
but-
missed that.
Yeah, he did. He did not too long ago.
I know I've heard him say it.
How
but
do you know my middle name?
Dude, everyone knows your middle name.
I
Really,
just
I didn't.
absorbed it from the cosmos at some point. I don't know.
What is Dirk's real name? Sean. Apparently. All right. Well, if we sound good, I will hit record, and then at some point it'll start recording.
Yeah.
So hi, y'all.
Hi.
Hello.
My middle name is Joseph, if anyone cares. I doubt you do.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that. I was just thinking, what does the J stand for? Good Lord, don't tell Mom.
Why?
Because Mom will start calling you Joseph like she did with Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Mom always thought Scott Joseph didn't sound right, but Joseph Scott sounded right. So she just calls him Joseph.
It does sound more right somehow.
And for some reason, that just stuck. And so that's his name now as far as she's concerned, and he answers to it when Mom talks to him. So Mom's weird like that, though.
Yeah. Yeah, Joseph is my grandfather's name. Yusuf Maroon Al-Khoury.
Well, which is it?
Joseph is his anglicized first name.
Oh, now it's got to be anglicized.
Why is it always got to be anglicized?
That's racist.
Why can't it be Frenchified?
Why?
Would that be Gallicized?
What? I like Frenchified personally. That's how I like my taters. I don't like tater salad, but I love me some Frenchified. Dude, okay, random potato thing. I found out the last time that I got food from Mickey's, which is a local place here that is like a hot dog and burger joint.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that they have more than just fries. I can get potato wedges. Oh crap! Or a third option that I've completely.
The waffle fries,
I can't remember.
or steak fries.
Now, if it was steak fries, I would just always get those for. I love steak fries are my favorite form of fry.
Steak fries are very good.
But hang on, I have DoorDash. I can just go look. Although it might not let me look at their menu if they're closed.
Because I think those are the 4.
Just pretend you're ordering ahead.
Currently closed, but can I see menu? Breakfast menu? You go to hell.
Curly fries. There you go.
Here we go,
There's
lunch
the 5th
menu.
one.
All right. The sides. Tater tots. That was the other thing.
Oh.
Like those are just the potato. I could get French fries or potato wedges or tater tots or onion rings or cheese sticks or jalapeno poppers or hush puppies. but yeah, 3 of those were taters. And I asked, because now they're doing curbside because the world is falling apart. I asked how were the potato wedges to the little curbside chick, and she goes, "Oh my god, if you get them where the outsides are like a little bit crispy, not like all the way through, but the outsides are a little crisp, and you get it with our homemade ranch. Oh my god!" And I went, "All right, yes, I will have that." She goes, "So you want them? You want them crispy? Yeah, go for it." So okay. And did you want the ranch? I'm like, yes, that's what. That's why I said I
You
will
sold
have
me on that, woman.
that. Yeah.
Make it happen.
And she's right. It was good as hell. It was amazing. I had,
Awesome.
and she gave me 2 things of ranch, the 2 little, plastic cups of ranch, and I only needed 1 for the potato wedges. And then, like 2 days, so I put it in the fridge. I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. And 2 days later, I grabbed, because I always buy baby carrots,
Yeah.
just as a snack, because they're delicious and, nutritious. And I've loved carrots ever since I was a kid. Don't judge me. Because why would you judge someone for that? Carrots are amazing. It's an objective fact. But anyway, I grabbed the carrots and said, I'm going to take these to the office and eat them while I work on stuff. And I got 3 steps away and my brain said, "Ah!" And I stopped and turned and opened up the fridge again and grabbed the little thingy of ranch and said, "Ah!" Like I was a genius for discovering this. And then I brought it all back here and ate it while I eat it, and it was amazing. So that was just a little thing about taters. So yes, hi everybody. We are not doing an episode of The Maniple this week. We're gonna do like we did on Monday Night Magic for a couple weeks at the beginning of I don't know, the plague times, and just sit here and shoot the breeze about whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So Dirk actually told me something right before everyone else got here that I think that that everyone should hear, if Dirk doesn't mind.
No, not at all. So my little bit of a discussion has to do with my health and everything. So Chewy had asked the question, so how are you doing? And I said, well, last week or this week has been less than ideal. So when last we recorded, that was Thursday night, I was doing fine and everything. And then Saturday night, I could not fall asleep. And it kind of started as like in my neck, it like whenever you like take in a lot of cold air, how it sort of like feels funny and everything.
Hmm.
And then it got to the point where I started feeling like tightness in my chest, and um I was I was having breathing problems where it was almost like I was just having problems breathing and taking in really deep breaths and everything. And then I began to actually start having like shaking, like like cold chills and everything. And I was thinking I was having like heart issues and everything because of how much like discomfort I had. And so I got up, and as soon as I started getting up and walking around, everything started getting better. I ended up having to sleep downstairs on the couch in the upright position, because if I laid down, it would just come right back. And so I didn't get hardly any sleep Saturday night. I told Chelsea about that and everything, and Sunday rolls around, had the exact same thing and all. And I had told Chelsea on Sunday that if I had that happen again, I was going to go to the doctor on Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
So same thing happened Sunday night. I just starts off as just almost like I'm having breathing problems, and then chest got tight again, and then started shivering and everything. And so I just slept downstairs again. And Monday morning rolls around, no doctor's offices opened until, or mine didn't open until 8. So about 8:15, 8:20ish, I called and said, can I make an appointment? And the nurse says, oh yeah, okay, well, what symptoms are you having? And I went through my list of symptoms, and they said, "Can you make it by 9?" Like, not even skipping a beat.
Mhm.
Because there are certain keywords that when you tell a doctor's office that I have chest pains or I have chest tightness and this and anything having to do with that, the main concern is you're having a heart attack.
Yeah.
And in that
Oh.
case, they're going, you need to get here like ASAP. We will find whoever's available and you can see them. Because she asked, is it okay if we can just slide you in with any doctor? And I said yes, because the doctor I usually saw, he moved, so I don't have an official new doctor at that office yet. So got there, and they got slid me in and everything. And the doctor, he checked me over, checked my pulse, listened to my heart and my lungs, and he checked my throat, and he didn't see anything going on with it. So the consensus between what he was thinking is that I was having anxiety, like I was having an anxiety attack. And talking to Chelsea before I went that night, I had previously had something like this happen to me about 15 years ago, whenever I was first starting teaching. That summer I was trying to get my teaching license. I had to take the classes, like that was the very last time I could actually enroll in classes. I had to pass these classes to get my teaching license.
Mhm.
These were not easy classes, going back to college and everything and trying to get enrolled. I was under a lot of pressure, and so I started having chest pains and all that. And this felt kind of similar to it. And so it was essentially ruled that was what was happening. And so it was funny whenever he asked the question of, so is there anything that would cause you anxiety? And I laughed to myself going, I'm a high school teacher who's doing distance learning right now. That's not easy at all to do. I've got 3 kids and everything. And he's like, yep, I would say you do. And
A
so
simple yes would have sufficed.
Yeah,
That's
as Fayan said in the Discord server, gestures and everything. Yeah.
well, and so he gave me a prescription, everything, and I talked to my mom on the way home, and she had pointed out that she had similar stuff, but usually for her it's acid reflux. And so, in addition to getting a couple anti-anxiety meds, I also picked up some Tums and checked to see if that helped, and sort of have been holding the anxiety ones in reserve just to because I don't have a lot of those. I can buy lots of Tums and fine. So it's kind of been on and off with that, but I'm pretty certain this is all anxiety driven. And I've been trying for the past week, trying to figure out sort of what has been triggering it. And the big thing for me is, again, when my kids are I like kind of driving me to distraction and everything, and they're not getting the work done I would like for them to get done, and things of that sort of been part of it. But I think the biggest thing has just been in listening to news. I've been less than I've not had my hopes fulfilled with how this whole pandemic thing has been going. And because of that, listening to the news and looking on Facebook and things like that have sort of been the things that have been pushing me to, like, that's usually whenever I'm listening to stuff of that sort, has sort of been when I can feel the tightness coming. And because of that, I have decided that I'm not going to be on Facebook for at least a week to see if that helps. I'm just not going to tune into my normal normal list of finding out what the latest developments are and everything. I just need to just you know cold turkey stop listening to all that and see if that helps. um I was having a little bit of that today, and Trevor was doing his work, and I told Trevor I'm going to go upstairs for a little bit. And he must have detected something was up, because he came upstairs maybe not like 5 minutes later to come and check on me. And
Aw.
he listened to me kind of talk about what was going on with me today. And he was doing everything he could to try and you know help me calm down and all that. So it was very sweet and
Yeah.
wonderful that he noticed something was up, and he knew he needed to come and check on me.
Kids,
But
man, I mean, they're more in tune with this sort of thing than we realize.
yeah,
So,
but that's been sort of my thing this last week. Is it's I there's so much that has been just like not being able to see people and talk to people, kind of feeling like you know quarantine is a terrible thing because I I'd like to sort of be left alone to do games and stuff like that, but at the same time I do want to go talk to people. I do want to socialize. If you ask these guys, when I would play games in the room, but then it'd be like, all right, I'm done doing this. I'm gonna go find people, and I would go and just hang out in people's rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, just watch them play games for 2 hours, not because I enjoyed watching the game, but because I needed to have social interaction with physical people. And this has been
Not those
really
digital
hard.
people that we've got these
Yeah.
days.
Not the the Zoom meetings where it's oh yeah, there's people on a screen. It's the that I can physically talk to and read their body language and everything of that sort, where I you get that more one-on-one or whatever interaction that you get. And because I haven't had that, I feel like that's kind of been part of my anxiety, is that I've just not been able to do that. And for my mental health, it's been detrimental. And so
Yeah.
that's sort of been that's been my week, and that's been my struggles that I've been going through.
Yeah, and I really wanted Dirk to explain that to everybody because that's perfectly normal. Like it's
Yeah.
happening it's happening to all of us. And even Dirk, who's, happy and easygoing most of the time, is having a rough go of it. And if you're having a rough go of it, that's normal.
yes.
Everything sucks all the time these days. I've been saying that for, I don't know, some small single digit, less than 5 number of years now, but it's becoming more and more evident that actually everything sucks all the time now. So, yeah, a thing I keep seeing kicked around on social media all the time is it's okay to not be okay. Like you don't have to feel like you're doing well. Like you don't have to be handling it, because this is something that none of us have any experience with in our lifetimes. So it's fine if you can't. I hope she doesn't mind if I'm sure she won't. But just yesterday, I got a text message from Steph. And ever since this whole thing happened, Steph and I sort of lost touch over, I don't know, the last several months. And we barely talked at all since she went home. She's at home with her parents. Once her job shut down in Utah, she went back to well, she didn't go back, but she went to Ohio to stay with her parents throughout the quarantine. So, she wouldn't be in her apartment alone. And she sent me a text message yesterday that was like, I really hate to do this, but do you have a few minutes to talk? And I'm like, of course. I was like, give me 5 minutes. I'm about to go for a walk and I'll call you. And I went for a walk and I called Steph and we talked for like 2 hours because like she's around family and whatnot, but that's it. And Steph, loves her family to death, but that's it. Like you gotta you gotta have some variety, or it starts to wear on you. And she felt really bad about, like, I don't talk to my friends all that much, and I'm like, Steph, honey, it's okay. Everything sucks all the time. anyone who claims that they're doing perfectly fine and have literally no problems or reservations whatsoever, and they're actually doing the self-quarantine thing like they're supposed to, is lying. If they're not lying to you, they're lying to themselves. This is not something we're all just fine with. Because this isn't natural.
Yeah.
Like, even me, I still go out almost every day because I DoorDash. And a lot of the time, like, my neighbors have been referring to me as a hermit for years now. Because they don't ever see me, because I don't ever go out and talk to them, because I don't really like them that much. But, but, like, so I'm used to sitting at home by myself just all the time. But there's always the option, or there was always the option to be like, yo, Mike, you want to have dinner? And Mike would go, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Mike would never think to ask me, you want to go to dinner?
No.
See? But if I say, hey, Mike, you want to go to dinner? He'll be like, oh, yeah, we should totally do that. But now I'm not going to do that. But it's because it's not an option anymore. And now we all have this problem when we're told not to do something. We all really want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what do you mean I can't eat ice cream? I'm going to go eat all the ice cream. You go to hell. So, but yeah, even me who, like I said, is used to this sort of thing by and large, it sucks, dude. We didn't do Monday Night Magic this week. Would you like to know why we didn't do Monday Night Magic this week?
Why didn't you do Monday Night Magic this week?
Because I had a major sad.
Thanks.
So on Friday, I did a long Twitter thread about this too. So apologies if you've already read that. But on Friday, I was out door dashing and Mom calls me. She's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm delivering food," and she goes, "Oh, well, when are you gonna be done?" I don't know, like 7:30 or 8. She goes, "Okay." I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "'Cause I'm gonna bring you this food," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" She's like, "We're just not going to eat these leftovers. We're just not. And there's no sense throwing them out. I'll just bring them to you." And I'm like, "Please don't do that." She said, "Why?" I was, because, like, quick, think of something. I was like, because I have to go see Allison sometime soon, my accountant, and get my stuff back from her and pay her. And she's in Lexington. I'm like, "I'll just swing by and you can set it outside. I'll swing by and grab it then." She said, "Okay." And Allison has still yet... Actually, it's Thursday, and Allison hasn't gotten back to me yet. Damn. I should probably email her again. But I owe her money. But on Monday, Mom goes, "All right, look, I'm just going to bring it to you." And I'm like, okay. It's just, but do me a favor and put it on the... Just put it out in front of the door and then please leave. And she goes, "Okay." And so she did. And I was sitting on the couch, which is right next to the door, and I hear, and then I heard Mom talking to the gargoyle who lives upstairs and one over.
I love gargoyles. David Keith is the best. So is Keith David. Yes.
Both of them, yeah. One of them was on that show. But, like, then the gargoyle texted me. It's like, "What you got your mama bringing you food for?" I'm like, "This was not my idea. Leave me alone." And I went, "By the way, is she gone?" She said, "Yeah." I went, "Okay." And I opened the door and picked up the food and brought it in and put the stuff in the fridge. And then I sat down and I cried. Because, like, okay.
The right thing.
Because I'm doing capital thing, yeah. And it sucks. I could have, Mom could have put the food down and backed away, and I could have opened the door, and we could have talked to her, like, across the parking lot. But I am of the opinion, most people who follow the science, that we're not even remotely done yet. Personally, I think we're not even halfway done with this yet. And the only way that I personally am going to make it through this is by hardlining it. Like, on Sunday, my friend Amanda goes, hey, you want to go walk in the park with us? And I'm like, no. I mean, I want to, but I'm not gonna. And she rolled her eyes at me. The little eye roll emoji. I'm like, I'm so glad that my concern for your safety is worth an eye roll. Thanks for that. And she goes, well, I just thought it would be something we could do and still, be within social distancing, but okay, fine, forget I asked. And I'm like, I don't think we can walk and talk at the park 6 feet apart. I just don't. And besides, like, I also, the previous week, I had taken her, she had an emergency appendectomy on Monday morning, just out of nowhere. And I'd taken her some Tylenol, and because it doesn't matter. She couldn't find any because of the Karens on the internet who were buying it all up and sitting on it. So I took her some Tylenol, and I set it down outside her door, and then I left because I could have backed away, and she could have opened the door. We could have chatted for a minute. But then, in my brain, that would get normalized. Okay, well, I'll just come chat at you from across the parking lot, And then...
Slippery slope.
Exactly. And then, because I know how my brain works, I'll inch closer and closer and closer. Well, I'll just get a hug. It'll be fine. And no.
We'll sneeze into each other's hands like we do every time, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, totally. And so I turned her down for having to go for a walk. And she got mad at me. Which, that's on her. But it's yeah, the only way I'm gonna make it through this is with is all or nothing. Like,
cold turkey.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to handle seeing. I would rather not see or talk to mom at all. I talk to mom every day on the phone, so like it's not like I'm missing anything. But I'm not gonna be able to see mom right there and not get a hug and still make it through another like 2 months of this. I'm just not. So yeah, I'm not looking for loopholes in social distancing. I'm not looking for like ways around the self-quarantine and self-isolation, because that's not how this works. This isn't like a rule that your parents made like when I was a kid and I got in trouble and they were like, all right, you know what? No Nintendo and no Genesis and no TV. So I was playing on my Game Boy. Yeah. It's not one of those. This is like, don't go over there or you'll get radiation sickness and die. So I'm trying to figure out a way to get through there quickly. Like that's freaking stupid. So yeah. And it's hard. Like, we didn't do Monday Night Magic because I had a serious sad. And also, Clues was overloaded with stuff he needed to do for the end of the semester. And Squee, it turns out, had to work extra late on some crap. Because his work laptop was messing up. So the next morning, he had to take it to work. Because Bill has been working from home since like November. But he had to take it into the office. So he had to do a good chunk of his Wednesday work, or his Tuesday work, Monday night, or whatever the hell. I'm getting the days confused, but whatever. He had to work more that night. So it worked out that we didn't do Monday Night Magic, but mainly it was because I was randomly bursting into tears throughout the course of the night. And I'm about to now, so if I stop talking, somebody fill for me. But it's because, like, I'm doing better as long as I'm not talking about it now. Monday night, Bill and I played Overwatch and shot lots of people in the face. And then Tuesday night, all of us, me and Bill and Gothic and Cap and Haley and Steph, all played Killing Floor 2 and just mowed down just hordes of zombie things and all the violence and the headshots and the things exploding. It made me feel much better. So So yeah, I'm not dealing with this well either. That was a long and horrible and depressing story. To explain, I'm not dealing with this well either, and it really sucks. So if you're not, that's perfectly normal.
Yeah.
Hmm. So hi.
Hello.
Say, Brian, what have you been up to? Because I want
I have been installing a fence,
to, like, on
and
Windows.
no, around my house because I
Oh.
now have 3 dogs. Not 2 dogs. It feels like 3 or more, and having to take them all out, uh, on a leash, can get a bit tiring.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So you want to just be able to turn them loose in the backyard.
you got it. Turn them loose. Let nature take its course. That whole thing. So turns out, so we got a couple quotes, and no disrespect to anyone that builds fences, but they felt high. We're like, so these guys have seen my house
Mhm.
several times, and we don't need a fence to go all the way around because we have a retaining wall at the back. We really just need something to, like, we basically need to put a fence on either side of that, and then a gate at the back. So we're talking about uh, I did the math at one point, but it's less than 100 feet of fence. Much less, like not even close. I can't remember what the total amount was. And the quotes were from a couple people were all over $2,000, and we're like, okay. So I'm looking online, and I'm looking at everything, and I'm like, all right, I think we can probably do this ourselves. No guarantee, but I think we're probably good here. Um, and yeah, it's been tough because my yard has rocks, and I don't mean rocks like, oh, it's got a couple stones. I mean, like, apparently we live on a quarry, and I start digging down, and I got the post thing digger and just hitting rocks and roots and all that, and it's taking me forever to get through some of it. And I'm like, all right, so I need to start digging this one by the house. And I know that I can only get within so close to the foundation, but I start digging a little bit, measure everything. This is where this needs to be. And then it turns out that they put the drain on that side. They didn't put the drain on the other side where you would think they did. They put the drain on that side. Why did they put the drain on that side? I have no idea. So, but if we put if we put it too far out from the drain, that's not going to work. Why is that not going to work? Anybody? Anybody got any guesses? Because then the dogs will be able to slip through,
Hmm.
defeating the entire point of the fence. So it's been a lot of hard work, which I'm not saying it shouldn't be. I'm just saying it's been a lot of hard work, and I am more physically exhausted now than I have been in a long time. And now my parents are going to be moving down, which, the whole thing with them moving down in the middle of the quarantine has always been kind of like, but they've been planning this move for literal years. Mom is now retired. This is just, and they also ended up selling their house much, much, much sooner than expected, like before the open house. So, and so I'm like, and they're like, they're going to need to stay with us for a couple days. And I was hoping to have the fence up because they have a dog. And Apollo, our newest dog, we're not really sure how they're going to interact. But there's no way I'm going to have this fence up before they get here, especially since they found themselves needing to move up the closing date because the owners of the new owners of their house wanted to move up the closing date, and they didn't feel like it was something they could really say no to. So I've been busy, and even though everybody I talk to is like, oh, it's the quarantine, and isn't it nice to have all this free time? And I'm like, ha 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 ha. Yeah, what's that?
I've heard of it. I swear I have.
So, it would be very easy to just say, oh, look, free time and, no responsibilities and all that. And that's not at all what's going on for me. Maybe it is for some people. It's not what's happening for me. Other than that, I am just fine.
At least you haven't run across any more like massive bees nests.
That's true. When I was telling Chewy I was having a problem with the backyard, I think that was his first thought was, how many bees?
Like, oh,
That was
no.
my first thought too.
So thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because Brian, do you like bees?
No,
Okay.
I like yellow jackets even less.
Now I don't know what to get you for Christmas.
I'll give you a hint. Not those things.
Gotcha. That does narrow it down.
So how's everything going with you, Mike?
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
It's been all right. I just do office work, and I've been here working at home for a while. Like even before North Carolina's official stay-at-home order went in place. Because like the week before, they told people, hey, if you just feel safer staying at home and you're able to do that, okay, you can do that. So I was like, all right, I definitely feel safer staying at home. And it's like, and that's just where I've been. I've been here. I go to the mailbox. I take walks every once in a while. And I've only been to the grocery store like literally twice for all that span of time. That means that I have felt safe and comfortable, visiting my parents once and seeing Ashley in person a few times. But it's just because that I've been home the entire time, literally doing nothing else. That's the only reason I feel comfortable with that. So we got an email earlier this week that my work is planning on opening up the High Point office again, starting to slowly open up the office here again on the 11th. Probably they're still working out all the details, but it's only going to start with 20 to 30% of the people being in the office at any given time. And they're probably going to do things where this set of people is in the office for a week, and then they're at home for a week, and then they're back in the office for a week, and trading off like that. And they're going to be checking people's temperatures as they walk in the door, with those little handheld scanner things. Right. But it's still like, even if I'm asked to go into the office for just like a week at a time here and there, I don't know if I'll feel comfortable even with the small things I was doing before. And I'm feeling really confused about that. I just don't know what to think yet.
Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
That you're thinking about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always knew Mike was kind of smart.
Well, the thing is I've ordered some washable masks and everything. I ordered those last week. They're not supposed to come in until next week. So even if you just go and say, well, I'm going to take precautions and everything, it's not like you can get, and these are not like surgical masks. These are not, super duper masks. This is just, I just need a washable, reusable mask.
Yeah.
And I mean, it only cost me $15 for a couple masks, but I have to wait 2 weeks before I can get them. And the funny part is I look to see, okay, well, what's going on now, and they haven't even shipped them yet. So
That sounds about right.
yeah, so it's like, is there such a huge demand for this
Yes.
stuff that, they're still making my mask? Is that what's going on?
Almost certainly, yeah.
Absolutely would 100% be the case. Yes.
So and that's part of what's made me irritated and everything too, is that okay, we know there's this high demand for it, so I understand we don't want people to go into work and all that, but with certain things of the sort, that this is the cloth mask that we're talking about doesn't require a 15,000 man facility to make these. It's something that usually 10 people in a warehouse can make, sort of thing. And so it's just I really feel like there could be contingencies done to, again, make sure people are safe, but also be able to provide materials that are necessary for people to function and be able to go out. Like in Mike's case, wanting to go out, if I have to go, I want to make sure I'm protected.
Yeah. Before my DoorDash masks came in, I had to go to the grocery store, and so I went T-shirt ninja.
Yeah.
Because, like, the whole mask thing is it's not to keep you from getting it, it's to keep you from passing it on. So, I just went T-shirt ninja and made sure I had several, like, folds of material in front of my nose and mouth, and went to the grocery store. So, like, if you need to go out, you can just makeshift it with something. You don't have to wait for your commercially manufactured nonsense to come in.
Well, there was a thing that I really liked that sort of explained it, is, to the whole purpose of mask and everything is, think about it like why we wear pants. If we didn't wear pants, someone pees, they pee on your leg, you get all wet.
Wait, you wear pants?
Now, if you wear pants, when somebody pees on you, you'll get a little bit wet, but you won't get like really wet. Now, if they wear pants, they pee all over themselves and they keep it to themselves, and you're all fine. And this was the analogy of why we wear masks.
That is actually brilliant. Wow. I actually saw a thread on Twitter. I think I retweeted it yesterday. They were like, if the fart smell goes through underwear and pants, then what good is wearing a mask? And a chemist who deals with the various
Orifices?
chemicals that make up various things, including fart smell, did a thread about it. It's because the size of the fart smell molecules are very, very tiny, and they can go through the holes in jeans and whatnot. But the coronavirus is like a factor of 100 to 1,000 times larger than the fart smell molecule, so it can't fit through it can't fit easily through the same material. And I was like, I did not expect to see
A rational, smart person talk about this.
no, I didn't expect to see a fart analogy turned into hard science. It made me happy because, one, as everyone knows, farts are funny, and two, science is hard. So to put those two things together and have it work, it just made me happy. But yeah. So yeah, another brilliant thing I saw on Twitter, where it was from Eric of Many Names, is that we all have Yeah, I love that guy. We all have Schrodinger's virus. Like, no one knows if they have it or not, so we have it and we don't have it at all times, which means we have to.
Just keep yourself in the box.
Yeah, which
Don't
means we have
leave
to
your
act
box.
like we do have it so that we don't give it to other people.
To quote one of the best Batman actors in one of the worst Batman movies, if there is even a 1% chance that you have this, we have to take it as an absolute certainty. Poor Affleck.
He was such a good Batman in such a bad movie.
Yeah. Everybody was like, oh, I can't see him as Batman. And after the movie, they're like, yeah, he was great. Too bad the rest of the movie happened.
I mean, a lot of people are like, man, Bat-fleck sucked. I'm like, no, you shut your face. Bat-fleck was awesome. The movie he was in was crap. It's not Ben Affleck's fault that Batman was ass. He was awesome. He just had to play a crappy part.
Yep.
Oh, and Jeremy Irons as Alfred. Oh, chef's kiss.
I mean, I know a lot of people like him.
I didn't even know he was in that movie.
Did you see that movie?
What?
No.
Oh, okay, that would be
Okay.
why.
I was like, how do you not?
I was like, how did you miss it? He was so obviously Jeremy. You didn't see it, did? Okay. Solve that problem. Oh, Lord. And there's been, okay, this was brought up in chat a while ago. Someone said that people that wear masks touch their face more. And that weirds me out because every time I put on the mask, I don't touch anything on my face. Is it just, am I just like better at this?
You are better at this.
It might be how you have it on your face. I imagine if it's not on right or if it's on weird or in some uncomfortable way, yeah, then you'll poke at your face more.
I have never wanted to touch my face as much as I have lately. Something about knowing that I
Yeah.
can't,
Mm-hmm.
but
And it's obnoxious
Yep.
because every time I'm sitting here on stream and like, I have to rub my eye, invariably someone on chat goes, Chewie, don't touch your face. And I'm like, that's very funny the 800th time. Yeah, that's nice. But
Yeah, like I put on a mask last time to go grocery shopping. And I just made sure it was fitted on right. And once it felt like it was on right, it felt comfortable. And I didn't feel any compulsion to start picking at it.
yeah, I do find myself having to like use my shoulder to reposition it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like you grab the strap that's going under my ear because they're like some sort of low grade surgical mask, I think that DoorDash sent us.
Mm-hmm.
So like I grab the strap that's going under my ear down here and like with between my face and my shoulder and like pull it down because sometimes the mask likes to ride up and want to poke me in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also wearing gloves. Like I'm wearing the latex gloves whenever I have a mask on. So I've trained myself, don't touch anything that's me with the glove.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might be part of why I don't understand why people want to touch their face when they're wearing the mask. Because whenever I'm wearing a mask, I'm wearing gloves too. And definitely don't touch your face when you're wearing the latex gloves. That defeats the purpose. And of course, just yesterday, like I put the gloves on and I did the delivery and the mask and I did the deliveries and I came home and I walked in the door and I started disinfecting things. Because I disinfect all the stuff that I touched, while with the gloves on, so my phone and my keys and all of that. And I reached up and scratched my face, and I went out loud, "God damn it!" to nobody, because I'm the only person in the house. So now I finished disinfecting everything with the wipes, and then I take off the gloves, and then I wash my hands, and I took some soap and like splashed it on the face, and then scrubbed had a red spot, like. This was not yesterday because yesterday I streamed, so it was Tuesday. Because someone would have been, what happened to your face? So sorry, this was Tuesday. But yeah, I got the soap and scrubbed the face. And then after I washed my hands and everything, I reach back behind my ears and take off the mask without touching the mask itself. But I wait until everything else is clean. I'm going to do that. Just so I don't like reach back with my hands with the gloves on, and now I got to scrub behind my ears.
Yeah.
Why the best potato chip flavor is dill pickle? That sounds disgusting.
It is very tasty, but
Dill
Just gotta-
pickle potato chips? Is that a thing?
I mean,
Yes.
it was. I remember getting them back in college.
Yeah, it's still a thing.
I've never even heard of that.
The only bad experience I had with them was because, like, I had gone to one of the common rooms to study, and it was kind of late at night, and I'd taken a bag of dill pickle chips to snack on, and I'd fallen asleep while I was studying, and like my head was hanging back like over the edge of the couch I was sitting on, like mouth open. So I wake up, I open my eyes, staring directly into the fluorescent light right above my head. My mouth is dry and has like old dill pickle taste in it. I'm just like, So that was an unpleasant way to wake up. But that's the only bad experience I've had with dill pickle potato chips. Otherwise, they're great.
Maybe it's
Good to
because
have
I
it in
just don't look at potato chips because I find most of them disgusting. I don't think I was aware that that was a thing. Hey, Brian, you're breathing in the mic again.
Sorry. I know how uncomfortable that makes Mike, so I'll stop.
Uncomfortable? You're still doing it. Uncomfortable or like aroused?
How about this? Is that better?
Seems so.
Possibly. I guess depending on the location that you're in when you're aroused, it's probably uncomfortable. Like when the teacher calls on you to write something on the board. No, it's just me? Okay.
You guys still have the nightmare where you're back in college and it's the first day of class or the last day of class and you haven't been to class like once?
At least once a year, I have that where I realize there's a final for a class that I stopped going to a long time ago. I don't know what room it meets in. I don't even remember the name of the class. I just remember that I'm about to have a problem in a couple hours when I can't find the room where the final is supposed to be. So stressful.
That does sound awful.
I feel like I've talked to people and it sounds like it's one of the like most I don't want to say popular, most I guess common dreams. So
Ooh, what was that?
what was what?
Wolfie Harvell just subbed for the 18th month and said, I've known you guys for a decade now. Is that all?
Yeah, we've known you longer than that, man.
Yeah, it's been longer than that because we met you in college, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've known us on the podcast for a decade now, sure.
Yeah. Also, I think while Brian was talking, someone else resubbed earlier. It was Magnor for the 20th month. Yay!
Yeah, I remember Mickey's wedding, but I know I recognized you at Mickey's wedding because, okay, maybe we weren't like friends and on social terms before then, but I'd definitely seen you around and recognized you.
Yeah.
I've seen my pre-releases and such and whatnot.
Also
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah, at the gym in Durham, we'd see you there.
Don't make it sound like we go to the gym, Mike. The gym we don't know him from the gym. Come on, man. Keep
He
your
was always
sweat
one
up.
of the guys we'd wait for in the shower. No.
Oh my god.
How much do you even lift, bro? By the way, I'm not making fun of people that work out. I'm clearly making fun of us because if you know us, there's no way. Although I do feel like I'm getting the best physical workout of my life. Why? Because I'm building a fence. It's so awesome. Ah.
Yeah, digging holes is a bitch.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't the Brian Complains show. That's on Tuesdays. So
Is that why I don't stream on Tuesday?
Yes.
Man. So yeah, we're all having our own issues, as I'm sure all of you are.
We're all
Just
fine
to-
here. How are you?
Yeah, we're all fine here. How are you? I mean, we're not fine, but it's fine that we're not fine. You see?
Yes.
Mm,
I see what you did there.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
So let's see.
some people will this will potentially have minimal effect on them, and I don't know how Sam's doing with it, but so far my kids don't. I've pointed out about the pandemic, just been like the coronavirus and all this, and the kids so far understand why we their friends they're my no, I don't hate my neighbors. Don't misunderstand me, but
I hate mine.
well, my neighbors, it just feels like sometimes that they're not taking it seriously. So their kids are out playing in the street with everyone else's kids and everything, and my kids are going, can we go outside and play? I'm like, I know you really want to go, but the answer is no. And so there are people I'm sure in the neighborhood who are thinking, what is their deal? They're antisocial. They don't let their kids come out to play and all that. And I'm just going, it's because I don't want my kids to get this. I don't want to get it. I don't want my wife to get it. I don't want my family to get it. I don't want my friends to get this. I don't want anyone to get this. And I understand that, again, I'm going to be that weird person in the neighborhood who's going to essentially be like, no, I'm not going to come and hang out with you guys. Not because I don't like you. It's because there's enough stuff that we are learning about this virus that it really is scary. Where, what was it? The most recent thing that came out was that people who've had it have lost the ability to taste and smell. Was that one of the things that came out recently?
I could have told you that a while ago because my sister Sally, when she had it, she said that was one of the weirdest things. She said she drank a Coca-Cola and it tasted like water. It tripped her out. Something fierce.
No, I think he means like long term.
Oh, like long
Yeah,
term. Okay.
does she still can she taste stuff and smell stuff again, or?
Yes. She's been
Okay.
over it for a couple of weeks.
But yeah, I think for some people, it's like it's really has affected them that bad that they've lost that. That there's people who, that they recovered from it, and then it led to a further complication, which, people who ended up on dialysis because it affected their system enough that it caused kidney failure and everything. And I'm just going, I don't want my kids to get this. I don't want to get it. Even though I'm in the age range where, yes, I'll get sick. Yes, it will suck a lot. I don't want to get this and potentially hurt somebody.
But Dirk, it's the flu. Just take a Tide Pod and you'll be fine. Eat a light.
I'm telling you, it's amazing that high schoolers. God, what was it? Like 4 years ago, were being made fun of. About I'll just drink some bleach, and the Tide Pod challenge was the thing that everyone was doing. And come 4 years later, all of a sudden, the Tide Pod challenge is back.
And now it's not just for stupid kids; it's for stupid adults too.
I think originally it wasn't actually a thing. It was just a da-da joke about wanting to die. But then it became so prevalent that people thought it was actually a thing, and some people actually tried it doing it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
'cause dumb.
Yeah.
But this isn't. Just so we're clear, Byron was being extremely sarcastic with that. It's just the flu
And
thing.
sarcastic.
And sarcastic. It's both.
Dude, I
It's
have
a new
seen
level of sarcastic.
other attorneys that I know have gone onto their websites and on Facebook and been like, "This is a public service announcement. I am an attorney. Don't inject bleach." Didn't think we'd really have to say this, but you know what? Don't do it.
Yeah.
Just trying
I
to
mean,
reach as many people as they could.
yeah.
But
Well, there was a lot of people, a lot of um, cleaning companies that made the news circuit saying, "We are telling you not to do this.
Yes.
This will kill you. Do not do it.
Don't do it.
We don't care. Don't do it."
but yeah, the original thought was this was just like it was just a really really bad flu. Originally, that was just what this is like the super flu. It's worse than that. This crap has like long lasting effects that once it's over, it might not be over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's yet another reason you should all be safe,
the-
stay home, wear a mask and stuff, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands.
Well, again, the thing to make note of is that in 1 year, the average fatality rate for the flu is between, I think it's 30 and 40,000 people. Somewhere in that range. We have passed that. And it took
in
it
the
2
United
months.
States. Yeah.
Took it 2 months to do this. And it's not done yet.
No.
We're still on the upswing. We haven't flattened as a nation. We have not flattened yet. Some states are getting there or are there, but very few states have met the federal guidelines of 12 consecutive days of no new cases.
I think it's 0, isn't it?
Well, we
Has any state?
well, they want 12 for the federal guideline for people to open businesses back. For businesses to go back and do their thing, the federal guideline, I believe, was 12 days of no
Of
new
steady
cases. And at that point, that the whole
I
phase
don't think
one
it was no new case. I think it
I
was
think it was steady decline.
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So, but there was something in there of we can't see it's still going up.
Yes.
14 for steady 14 days of stay. There you go. That's what it is. And no state has really met that yet. But now we've got states where like, all right, we're opening back up. I understand how bad this is. I understand it. I have friends who run businesses, and this has been devastating. I understand all those concerns, and I really do feel like that there should be things that are worked out between mortgage, the banks, between utilities and all that says, can we have this done on a 48 or a 24 months of just owing you a little bit back during this time. Just we'll tack on, we'll pay an extra $10-15 on our bill once my job gets back. Whatever it takes to ensure that people are going to stay at home and be safe and not spread this. Because Chewy's right. We could see a slight decline in the cases, but the whole thing with this is it's a brand new virus, and because of that, we don't know what its mutation rate's going to be. And if it mutates, and all of a sudden, A, the tests don't detect it, B, our immune systems are not used to the new mutation, we're going to be right back at square one.
Yup.
And that's because that's the thing about the HIV virus. Why is there no cure for it? No, there's no government that's sitting on the cure for that, because you could make a mess ton of money out of it. The reason why is because the HIV virus mutates really quickly. So if they did get one strain of it, it doesn't take long for it to mutate, and then it's the vaccine or anything like that is going to have a difficult time. Uh,
And it works by
kicking it
undermining
out.
the immune system.
Right. So there, and there's no way, there's no good way, to go after it because of that. So there's a lot of problems going on that prevents us from getting a vaccine. I'm hoping that they get a vaccine for this. I've heard that there's been some positive trials going on, but the problem is that those trials are in lab rats. They're not in humans, and you have to get the permission to move over to human trials, which takes a while. They don't. It's the whole thing, like the malarial drug that they were talking about. Why can't we just do that? It's doing so well. Well, there were no trials on humans to check to make sure this was okay, and then people got hurt because of that. Until this drug has been tested, they can't just say, okay, it looks good in mice, here, let's make a lot or just sell it. So it's
At least
there's
they shouldn't.
so much that needs to be done before we're in the clear on this. And I do think as a society we're going to see a huge change. I think we're going to end up seeing we as a society in the United States are going to start seeing a lot more of what's going on in China and Singapore and Hong Kong in terms of how things go, where people are going to be wearing face masks more often than they do.
I'm also fine with doing away with handshakes forever.
I think that's probably going to be, there's going to be a big shift away from that.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that if in the United States with face masks becoming more common in society and become more of a norm, I do think that the number of flu cases will probably see a drop. I know that they're talking about in the fall with this and flu being a double whammy, but if everyone's wearing face masks and everything, you should also see a drop in the flu cases as well, because people are A, not going to shake hands, B, wear masks. If it prevents the coronavirus, it'll also have an effect on the flu. So if we can affect one, we should see an effect on the other one as well in that.
Yeah. My personal hope is that this overhauls our
healthcare system.
But as long as the healthcare system is big money, probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But
probably not.
Yeah.
But it's obvious that, like, the whole reason this is so bad is because, okay, I'll use me as an example. Back when I had, well, this isn't a podcast. Back when I had the shit job during the dark times, if I got sick, okay, maybe I'm not a good example because I would lay out of work for that job for any reason because I was hoping they'd eventually fire me, which they did. Turns out that was one of the best days of my life. But
good job.
If I was sick, I had to wrestle with the go in sick and work because I'm out of sick days, and they will, one, get mad at me, and two, not pay me because I'm out of sick days, or go in anyway and keep working and potentially infect everybody. Because all of you who work in office jobs, that office sickness that everyone gets. It's because of that. It's because I can't afford to take off work because I'm sick, even though I should, because I'm sick.
Yeah.
And that is because, and I can't afford to take off work, goes hand in hand with also I can't afford to get sick. Like, if I get sick, I have to go to the doctor and then medicine, and then there's, what if it's really bad? Then I have to pay all more, and I haven't met my deductible yet, and that's another $1,000 or whatever. I don't even know what my deductible is right now. That's kind of scary, but it's too expensive to get sick in this idiot country unless you're already really well off.
Yeah.
Which case, the world is your oyster regardless.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So those two things of, well, if I get sick, I have to go to work anyway because I can't afford to miss work and I can't afford to go to the doctor even if I do get sick. It was prime for some sort of horrible plague to show up and wipe us out.
Our mutual friend Tom posted a link on Facebook to the observations of someone that didn't live in the United States about how basically the way that our country has handled this makes us look like a third world country.
Well, that's because that's how we've handled it. We've handled it worse than some third world countries.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's not get too political here, but I think we all know why.
This is structural.
It's
It would have only been marginally better under different top level circumstances.
yeah.
Because this is something else. Another quip that I've seen shared on Facebook several times. We're a bunch of broke ass people working for a bunch of broke ass companies, paying rent to broke ass landlords, and it's all just falling apart.
We unfortunately as a country have structured things in such a way that it's almost self-defeating. Again, with how the medical system is set up, we have lots of really big hospitals and very few regional hospitals, which if with this, the regional hospitals probably would have been able to been the first line of defense to help people. All right, well, we'll check you. If your symptoms are really bad, then we'll send you to one of the bigger hospitals where there are more resources to treat you. Whereas the regional ones could probably have been able to handle more of the day-to-day stuff. Or, oh, you're sick, well, here's what we can do for you. There's the people who are most vulnerable to this are the people who are considered essential. They're, like you guys have been saying, they're the low paid people. They have to go in because they're essential. They make that there's no way they can take off when they are sick because they're not paid enough. They don't have enough sick days. So it's a double whammy on it.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Whoops, that's 2 whammies.
I thought you guys were supposed to be making me feel better than that.
Well,
well, that wasn't the express reason for getting together.
True, yeah.
Good job, though.
I think we all just need to get crap off our chests, which is why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to force a conversation about magic that none of us were prepared for or only vaguely interested in for the most part. So. Well, that's all wonderfully depressing. How about we spend the while talking about something that isn't horribly depressing?
kittens.
What? No, I don't have a kitten, so it's horribly depressing.
Well,
I tried.
yeah. No.
Saw a video of a hedgehog doing a little, basically a hedgehog ninja warrior course through a guy's living room.
How was
Following
it?
with the camera and doing commentary on it. It was pretty cute.
There was a Mortal Kombat song called Chinese Ninja Warrior. I think it was Sub-Zero's
Sub-Zero.
song. And so when you said Hedgehog Ninja Warrior, I'm like, Hedgehog Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
Good lord.